Hi, welcome to video 5. Okay, I have to set the alarm here so that I know when time is up. Okay, so that's done. Okay, so we were about here the last time. I actually made 2 more videos but forgot to turn the audio on. And so we'll try it again. Since then, of course, my customer wants his, or my client wants his drawing, and so I had to go ahead and finish it. And so this is where we were, and this is where we end up. Okay, so this is the plan. It shows the main house, the deck, the roof around. It shows a 2-car garage with a breezeway going in the middle. Okay, so we printed this out for the customer. We also have the elevations. Now, to fit it on the paper, I turned the elevations the other way, but we're going to develop those in this tutorial. This is all a preliminary drawing. It's not finished. It just shows the client pretty much where I'm going with it and whether he agrees or not. And he has copies of this right now. And we'll come back and make changes. But in the meantime, we'll just keep going with the tutorial. Okay, well, I did print it out. I have a copy of the printout here. So I printed this to PDF. Okay, this is what the hard copy looks like at 1/4 inch scale. Okay, again, there's the garage showing the garage doors, the covered breezeway, the deck, wraparound deck, set up the windows in the front, and kitchen. That's where we're at right now. So we're going to develop this kitchen. Obviously fix that friggin' door. I'll show you how I did that. Found a tub for inside there, and so on. Anyway, that's what the end result will look like. Okay, so we can get rid of this. Don't want to save changes, I don't think so. Okay, so we're back here, and we were in this area. I was having a lot of trouble with this door. Probably just the kind of day, but if you fillet, okay, and then draw a line from that corner to that corner, that's going to give you the middle. Okay, so what I ended up doing after the last drawing, I just moved, okay, that door and that door from right there, and I just moved it back and forth on this line, okay, until I felt that I had a good 4 to 6 inches, and then just when I wanted to go back in, I just went near. Okay, that brought up anything on that line. If I go off the line, of course, it's gone. So that'd be the nearest point. And I, again, just slid up and down this line until I figured I had it. Okay, so I'm just going to put it down here for now. And then move, previous, and I'm just going to put it from this corner back here. Okay, so that worked. And get rid of my construction lines. I'm just going to fillet these back down. Okay, so I believe we had all of this done on the last tutorial. We left an area here. I mean, well, I'll show you in ADC. We need it anyway. Okay, so I'm just going to move it off the screen so I can double click and get into my drawing file for this fellow, and then get into blocks, and then I'll bring back and show. So here, I just went down here, found the drawing file for Penner, double clicked on blocks, and here I've got all the different blocks. Okay, so these are the blocks that are inside. Now, where is that tub? I don't see it there. Should be here. It's in the drawing. Refrigerator, point load, toilet. Okay. Well, I guess it didn't come in as a block. I'm sure it must have. Anyway, let's do it a different way. Let's just open the drawing. Okay, I'm going to go into this corner. And, oh, it's been exploded, that's why. Okay, so I'm going to copy, Control C, good old Windows copy, I'm going to pick all of those items. Okay, and then I'm going to get out of this drawing. Do you want to save changes? No. And I'm going to go back into this and Control V, and I'm just going to bring that right in. I'll put it right there for now. I'm going to move it from, we don't have O snaps running, so O apostrophe OS, and let's go to node. Ooh, it still didn't pick up. I guess because it's exploded, there is no node there. Now how am I going to do it? Okay, well, let's escape out. Let's draw a line from this corner with ortho on, and from this corner, and then I'm going to move all of this from there to there. Okay, a little bit of a run around. Okay, so I'll find that block and I'll put it in the tutorial package, so you'll have that. Okay, everything else is good. I think I cleaned off the drawing. Okay, we were gonna do a kitchen, and I need to find the original. Okay, here we go. This is the original that my client brought in, and we'll see if we can duplicate the other kitchen. So kitchen cabinets are 24 inches deep. Okay, so we're just going to offset 24 in that direction. Okay, now a corner cabinet, typically I'd like to do a 36-inch corner, but I've already done this kitchen and I know that a 33 is going to work. Cabinets come in for width, they come in 3-inch increments, and you like to stay within those 3-inch increments. That way there's nothing custom and the kitchen is a heck of a lot cheaper. Okay, so I'm going to offset 33 in both directions. Okay, so that's going to be, I'm just going to trim this out. This is going to be, okay, my corner cabinet. Now, I can draw a 45 here, but this fellow doesn't want a 45 corner cabinet, you know, with one door. He wants, there'll be 2 doors hinged together. Okay, we can clean this up. So there's my corner cabinet. I believe I went over with a 9-inch cabinet beside that. Okay, and then I left 36 inches for a fridge, so I'm back in offset 36. Okay, so that'll be my fridge space, and then it looks to me, and I believe I put a 12-inch in, so offset 12. So I'm basically just laying out the boxes, the base cabinet boxes. Okay, I fooled around in here, and I know I have a sink, but I don't believe it's right beside. What did I do? Back to Penner. I'm going to just zoom in. Yeah, obviously I left a little 9, and then I did the sink, and then I did the dishwasher, I did a 9, and then I did the stove. Okay, so let's do that. So offset 9. Okay, 36 inches for a sink unit. Okay, 9, give them some cabinet space, and then offset 30 for a stove. Okay, and then it pretty much shows on this fellow's drawing that he wants the end of the cabinets to line up with the stairs, and so if you draw a line from there, that would be the end of the cabinets. Okay, now I don't know why. Oh, I don't have a dishwasher, that's why. Okay, so we'll stretch all of this over 24 inches. Okay, and then I'm going to offset 24. Okay, so I'm just going to match properties here to a hidden line. This is going to be a dishwasher. It's built into the base cabinets. It's always 24 inches wide. We've allotted space for it. And then that moves my stove over to this. So if I trim here, okay, that's my space for the stove. And if I trim down here, that's my space for the fridge. Okay, we don't have to show the rest of the cabinets. So we don't have to show this line. We don't have to show this line. The cabinet manufacturers are going to do their own drawings. They're going to do their own layout. They may or may not put in spacers. All we're showing is the space of the kitchen. Okay, we happen to know a little bit about cabinets, and so I would probably do a little bit better job than most designers. But neither here nor there. Okay, so ADC. I need a sink, so I'll bring one of those in. That's a 36 inch. You know, they may buy a 32, they may buy, you know, whatever they buy, 33 inch. But we've left lots of room for any double sink. We need a fridge and a stove, so 40 inch, I don't want that. 30 inch oven, range, I want that. And I want a 36 inch fridge. Refrigerator 30, or maybe that's 30. 36 inch refrigerator. There we go. That's about it for now. I'm just going to get rid of the ADC. Okay, we'll just flip this around and then move from this corner. We'll pop it right in there. The fridge, same thing. We'll rotate it around and then move from, oops, yeah, from that corner, I think, to there. Okay, that worked. Okay, this we're just going to place the best we can. Okay, I'm going to turn the ortho off. Now that goes right inside this unit. Okay. Okay, move. Let's take the center of this and put it in the, close enough. Okay, so that shows the symbol for the sink. Okay, and it's positioned right inside a 36 inch. Okay, if I explode these, okay, they go back onto the layer that they were built, which, if you look up in the corner up here, is the utility layer. And so I'm just going to match properties. Okay, all of these cabinets I want on the utility layer. That one. All of these guys can be on the utility layer. Okay. I put some shelving in this little pantry thing here, so offset, I think I did 16s. Okay. I didn't do that because it just makes too close a space. So there's some shelving. It could be 2 tiers, 3 tiers, whatever they decide to put in. I'm just going to match properties here. Okay, this one I called a broom closet, so I got rid of that. Now he may make changes in here. There's no closet for the front door, so I put one in. Okay, and so offset, I believe we talked about 25 inches. Being the inside measurement, take an inch off for 2 drywall and away you go. Okay, we need to clear this door. Okay, so if I just draw a construction line right there, and I know my door is 30, and so if I leave 36 inches, I'm going to clear that door easily, so offset 36. Okay, offset 4. Whoops, not 4 feet, or 36, offset 4 inches. Okay, and then just fillet. Okay, trim. Okay, so that would be a closet. Okay, and we'll put a bifold door in it. Okay, so we'll get into the bifold, this routine, B-A, just spell out bifold. Okay, we'll put one there, 4 inches, we'll leave that for now. and other edge of the, oh, we can't do it like that. We got to get out of it, back into it. Okay, well, we got to have an offset point. We want the doors to open to the outside, so we have to pick that wall. Offset point, 4 inches, sure. Other edge. Actually, I'm going to go way out here because I want a double door, and opposite edge would be this one, and I want 24-inch doors. Well, it sort of gave me 24. It gave me doubles. It gave me 24. I have a lot of trouble when I'm making videos, so I'm just going to move that and that. Okay, 24. Okay, and then I'm going to trim. Okay, so that would be a 48-inch opening, which is a 4-foot bifold, which is 2 2s put together. I'm going to offset the 16 for a shelf. Offset the 2 for a, whoops, wrong way, for a coat hanger, and then just match properties to this setup here. We'll put that on the utility layer and that on the hidden layer. Okay, now we can center this. Okay, and I'm just going to stretch, okay, this whole thing, okay, from the center and match it up to the center there. Okay, so I've just used construction lines instead of doing the math and trying to figure out exactly where that would be. I'm bad for that. I hate math. Okay, we could put in a front door. Now, I've already talked to the client, and he'd like to get a 36-inch door with a full glass side light on the other side, so he has lots of light coming into this area. Okay, and so I'm going to break BR this line. I'm going to, oh, it's already broken. Okay, then I'm just going to pick the middle of it. Okay, and I'm going to go, I can go to there, and I'm going to offset 18 inches, which would be my door. And then I'm going to offset 14 inches, whoops, in this direction. Okay, offset 14 in that direction. Okay, so those will be the 2 side lights. Now it's very tight. Okay, I've got, if I take a distance from there to there, I've got exactly 4 inches. Okay, so he's going to think about that. But for now, we'll just leave it. We'll draw it in there. Okay, we can get rid of these, and then we trim. Okay, this will be the door. I'm just going to draw a line down here to represent the 2 glass pieces. It's actually, it'll come as one frame with the glass set right out in the door frame and the door hung. So let's put a door. Offset point, I'm going to put right there, but I want 0 offset. I am going to open the door up against these bifolds. Okay, where am I here? 0, approximate strike location right there, opposite side to open, and I want a 36-inch door, and there it is. Okay. Okay, I'm going to I'm going to leave it for now. Okay, we'll explain it later. Got a little carried away. Back to this kitchen. We have an island, and basically islands are as big as you can get them. People love islands. They can walk around them. You can see in his little drawing that he's got seats along the far side. So we'll do that. And the minimum space, you know, for 2 people to move through any part, like a hallway, stairs, and so on, is 3 feet. Okay. In this house, we've left 3'6", which is very nice. It's easy for everybody to walk around. So we're just going to do the same thing here. We're going to offset 42 inches from here, and that's going to be the beginning of our island. Okay. Now, an island is made up of base cabinets. Okay, so we like to stick to the 36-inch or the 3-inch rule. Stay some denominator of 3, like a 24-inch or a 27-inch. Okay, again, I don't remember what I did, but we'll try it, lay it out again. Let's offset 24 and see where that gets us. So that'd be a 24-inch cabinet. And then he's got a 45. Okay, well, let's go the opposite route. Let's go offset 4 feet from this direction. Okay, that leaves lots of room there. Offset 2 feet from that. Okay, now the other corner, let's zoom in here and let's steal a 45 line. Okay, I'm going to steal this one. Oh, I got old tracking. Let me turn old tracking off. Okay, and I'm just going to put it right on that corner. Now I'm going to offset, let's say 4 feet. That's a high traffic area as well. So offset 48. Okay, that is as close as I can come with this island. Okay, so let's do there. Extend. Just bear with me for a second here. Extend to there. Oh, you bugger. What can I extend to? No. Extend. I didn't have this trouble when you weren't here. Oh my God. Okay, extend. Okay, extend. There. Okay. That's the closest point I can go. Okay, line there. You know, come out this way. Okay. So that was a bit weird. But basically what I've done is from this corner, I've gone 4 feet. That's as close as I want to go. I've left 4 feet to travel through here. This red line is the stairs down in the basement. Underneath, this is actually floor. Okay, I've gone the 42 inches, or what did I do there? Distance. Yeah, 42. Okay, so now I just have to sort of join up. We know that the edge wants to be in line here with the cabinets, and so let's just do that. Okay, and offset JOF, offset 24. Okay. Okay, so now we've established that corner. Okay, he wants from the inside here 24 to the not 24, but a 45. Okay, well, let's steal a 45 again. Let's steal this little guy, and we'll put him right there, and we'll fillet. Nope. The end of this to here. There. Okay, now we're going to offset 24. Okay, clean that up. Okay. No, we don't want to erase that. Okay, we can get rid of this. Okay, we can give him a countertop to eat off of, so offset something like 12 inches. No, let's give him 14. Okay, offset 14 inches. This can be raised. Okay, fillet that. Fillet that. Now his chairs can go underneath. And I believe we're just going to fillet this. Okay. So, again, from a cabinet point of view, I know that, okay, my distance from here to here is 24 inches. So that's a good cabinet. Now, line from here to here. Okay, that would be the beginning of the other cabinet. Okay, my distance from here to here, 4'3". Okay, well, it'd be nicer if it was 4 feet. So offset 48. Okay, and then move all of this from there to there. Okay, so now that's a nice 48-inch cabinet there. Okay, my line here. What's my distance? DI from here to here. 5'2". Well, two 30-inch cabinets would be good there, so offset 30. Okay, and then another one, and then clean it up. Okay, so I know that I'm safe all the way around. I've already laid it out. Now I've laid it out with cabinets, so I know it's relatively inexpensive to build. And okay, this area in here, we can erase this line now. We're more than 4 feet. So you can see one cabinet, another cabinet, that one and that one. This might be two 24s put together, depending on what this lady would like. She might want a bank of drawers, 24 inches wide, 2 banks of drawers. 48-inch wide is kind of too big for a bank of drawers. Here, a nice 24. So it's a good cabinet layout. We've given a nice countertop here, raised countertop. Okay, so I'm happy with that. I'm just going to erase these construction lines. Okay, and then I'm going to match properties with the rest of the cabinets. Okay, so that takes care of all our lower cabinets. Upper cabinets, okay, up against the wall. You need wall to hang them on. So they're 12 inches deep, so offset 12. Okay, and we'll put some along here too. Okay, so we're going to trim. We'll just match upper cabinets to lower. So that would be a 12-inch upper. It'll be 30 inches. It'll hang down from the ceiling a foot. That's where it'll start, the top of it. And then it'll come down another 30 inches is your basic upper cabinet. These ones will, over top of the fridge, they'll only be 15 inches down from the ceiling, or down from the 1 foot mark on the ceiling. Okay, but they will still, it'll be a continuous line. Okay, we'll have to put a window in here and then chop the cabinets off. We don't want them over top of a window. This corner, this upper corner, I'm just going to offset 2 feet. Okay, from here and from here, and then I'm just going to draw a line like this. Okay, and then I'm just going to fillet. Okay, so that would be the upper corner. It will be a 45 cabinet, the front of it, so it'll just have one door. Some people like to put glass in that door. I'm going to take a line from the center of this sink and just use it there. And then I'm going to offset 24 inches. I'm going to put a 4 foot wide window right at the sink. And that's a very common practice. Window wants to be centered on the sink. Typically it'll open to let steam out. I'm going to draw a line down the middle, and I'm going to trim that, and I'll get rid of these. Okay, I will draw a line here. Okay, and I'll match properties. It's just the edge of the cabinets, it's a hidden line. Okay, now I'm going to go 4 inches away from that window. I'm going to leave lots of room for casing, that magical 4 inches. And I'm going to I'll extend it to these cabinets. Okay, let's take distance here from there to there. 8 inches. Well, again, cabinets want to be 3-inch increments, and the smallest will be a 9. So those might be custom built, or that might be custom built. It might be open shelves. We'll see what she wants to do with it. We want to be a good 4 inches from that window. Okay, so that opens up above the sink. I'm just going to trim here. Okay, so there'll be a cabinet, another 15 over here with a hood fan to vent this stove. Okay, and these cabinets will end right there. Now, because they're on a different layer, like we've shown the base cabinets as being solid, we're going to dot these in. Okay, upper cabinets, they're not really on the plane that we're working on here, but we've accounted for them. And everyone who's building this kitchen will be able to understand where everything goes. Okay, we'll need some labels text. We'll text this dishwasher so they know that area. Okay, that works for kitchen. My distance left over here, 12'6". Okay, we've encroached a little bit with this, and we've left a little bit there. I think what we're going to do, we'll just draw a line across here, and we'll move okay, so we're back in line, and now this little 4-foot thing here, okay, well, I gotta do it again. I gotta copy a 45. Okay, I'm gonna offset 42. Oh, wait a minute. Let me zoom in there. Yeah, that didn't touch. Okay, now I'm gonna offset 42. Yeah. Okay, we're too close. Okay, so we need to take 3 inches off. Stay in that. That's 3.5. Okay, well, let's take 6 inches off then and be double safe. Okay, I'm good with that. Okay, again, this is a preliminary drawing. They can make as many changes as they want. Okay, where are we going to go to now? We could put some windows. We could lay out these front windows. Okay, time's up. We'll see you in the next tutorial.